What's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Flux Fridays, a series where I show you a new flux farming method every single week, and a series that I'm definitely not recording and uploading on a Monday despite being named Flux Fridays. Today we're going to be talking about farming for Radiant Shards and Radiant Caches to make a decent amount of consistent flux. Farming for Radiant Shards is actually one of my personal favorite flux farms, despite it not being the most efficient farm in the game. It's one of those farming methods that you can easily just listen to music or watch YouTube while farming casually. To farm for Radiant Shards, first head to the Radiant Ruins world. Once you're in the Radiant Ruins, look for any nearby dungeon icons. Each dungeon in the Radiant Ruins will have a dark heart structure that you can press E on to start the dungeon. After starting the dungeon, you'll have around 45 seconds to break as many Radiant Shard boxes as possible. I typically use my Speedy Neon Ninja build, but you could also use a decent Dino Tamer or Gunslinger build. Another fun choice is the Shadow Hunter, but only if you have the class gem. The Shadow Hunter's class gem multiplies its attack speed by an astronomical amount, making it much easier to shoot the Radiant Shard boxes from a distance. As you're traveling from dungeon to dungeon, you might come across a Radiant Giant. Always be on the lookout for these giants, since killing them will reward you with Radiant Shards as well as a potential rare drop of a Radiant Cache. The Radiant Cache can be opened, however its drops are so awful that I highly recommend selling it for somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 flux instead, depending on the current market price. Overall, this entire farm is simply traveling from dungeon to dungeon while also killing Radiant Giants that you encounter along the way. Once you're done farming for Radiant Shards, list them up on the marketplace and wait for them to sell. The price per Radiant Shard used to be around 6 flux per shard, but at the time of recording it's around 8 flux per shard, so be sure to always check the price before selling. One bonus tip that I wanted to mention is that Radiant Shard farming is most efficient on Tuesdays, Gathering Day. On Gathering Day, you'll receive double Radiant Shard drops, or triple drops if you have Patron, making the farm 2 to 3 times more efficient on Tuesdays. Keep in mind, however, that on Tuesday, since the drop rate is increased, the market price is also lowered, so typically your shards will sell for less on Tuesdays. Another good thing about farming for shards on Tuesdays is that it makes it easier to find groups in global, shard, or sky chats. The last quick bonus tip that I have is actually a movement-based tip. Occasionally the dungeons will be significantly higher up and you'll have to spam jumps or build your way up to them. If there's a waterfall nearby, however, you can use a neat little shortcut to climb the water with minimal effort. If you see a waterfall nearby and you want to climb it, simply enter the water and use your boat. Your boat will automatically climb the water all the way to the top, so that you don't have to manually spam jumps. That's it for this episode of Flux Fridays, hope this helps. Sorry about being late this week, I had a ton of stuff that I'm working on for other projects of mine and didn't get around to recording this episode earlier. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.